everyone. All right, we're going to work on doing a portrait from a photograph. So before I start, I've got a printout of a student here, and I'm just going to use a red marker. So just watch right now. And I'm just going to outline the shape of his head. So I just want you to see the shape of that head. It's an oval, okay? So just on a piece of scrap paper right now, I'm just going to just really quickly, you can follow along with me if you would like. So we're just going to make an oval. I'm not doing the actual portrait right now. I'm just doing kind of a sketch. Just kind of trying to do it in more or less the same shape. I think actually might be a little even more tilted than that. Let me do it again. Yeah. So I think maybe that one's a little bit better. It's a little, his face is a little bit tilted. All right. Then I can imagine there's a line that goes right down the center of his face. And look how it's curved. So it's curved like that. So I'm going to try and mimic that line. So that gets curved. All right. So when you're drawing portraits, pretty much you can start almost all the time like this. You have an oval that's like an egg shape. Then you have a line that's curved depending on the position of the face. Then you have another line for the eyes. So sometimes when you have the curve like this, the line, it goes up like that. In this case, I think the curve is going down. His eyes are kind of moving down like that. Now, let's see, is this exactly in the middle? Well, I could measure. It's not exactly in the middle. It's a little bit lower than the middle. If I were to just kind of measure it with my fingers, it's a little bit lower than the middle. So here's the middle. Then I know I need to go a little bit lower than the middle. So it's kind of right there. Then the nose is, what's the shape of this? It's going up like that. Okay. So if I get these lines correct, then when I go in to add the nostrils, the eye, the pupils, the irises, then I will get them in the right spot, as opposed to just guessing and then I'm getting one eye up here, one eye down here, and it's all, messed up. So, and then he's got he's doing an expression with his face. So if I just want to match the shape of the lips, it is kind of like, he's kind of going in this direction here. So I'll just try to match that like that. Okay. So again, sometimes I would say when I'm doing like a classic portrait, you could say basically, okay, there's the eyes, go a little bit down, there's the nose, and then go a little bit down, there's the mouth. Okay. So that's kind of how it is. All right. When, if you want to learn about this other method that's called the Loomis method. So the way that the Loomis method considers it is that it starts with a circle, just a straight up circle. And then you figure that the nose is at the bottom of the circle here. Then you kind of go these two diagonals and then close off for the chin. And then the mouth is here and then the eyes are here. So it's sort of the same concept as what I just did over here. But I did here without the circle. So this is an interesting method. It's called the Loomis method, and I like this idea of just like thinking about that circle in there, but you might not have to do that. This one, I like this method where you just start with an egg shape. Can just start with an egg shape, then you start with like this center line, and then I usually do my eyes first, and it's like kind of the middle. Then you go down to the nose, which is just a little bit down from the eyes, and then down to the lips, which is a little bit down from the nose. And then you've got the chin there. And you start moving everything up, and the ears usually line up with the nose, kind of like that. And then there you go. And then you start to put things into place. So that's just kind of like the basic, where do my features go? All right. And when you start like this, as opposed to saying, okay, I'm going to start like this, and then I'm going to do an eyeball, and then another eyeball, and then I like to do my noses like this, or, you know, whatever. That's a fun face. It's like, you know, pretty fun. It's pretty cool face, but you might not get things in the right place, okay? Whereas if you're using these guidelines and you start like that, then you're gonna start getting things in the right place, okay? All right, so let's start to make our drawing, and we're gonna do this in about, hopefully, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. So I am not going to take too long on it, but let's see what we can get done. All right, so I just grabbed another piece of printer paper. I'm just gonna fold this in half. So I'm gonna work on my portrait on the half sheet. So let me just take my guide away. But I wanna try, and I'm just gonna try and mimic this exact composition. Composition has to do with the positioning of your figure on your paper. So I'm gonna start with a frame. I like doing frames, kind of helps you to have a starting point, a middle point, and end point. Just saying, okay, I gotta work within this space here. All right, so let me finish kind of walking through his body. So this is where the neck is, and it's also has a round inside, okay? So goes like there, then it connects here. Then we have the shoulders, which are going off the frame. And then this one is gonna go up here. All right, so that's what I want to, whoops, lost my cap. That's what I want to copy right here, okay? So I want the head to be about this big. So if you can take your hands, kind of match how big you want it. So I'm gonna use a dark pencil. If you're using drawing pencils, start with your H pencil, okay? That's gonna give you a nice light line, and then you can build up your value from there. But I'm gonna go ahead with HB, see if that's dark enough, just so the camera can see it. So I'm gonna start right up there and right here. I'm just gonna put these little marks right here because I wanna make sure my oval's big enough. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my oval. And again, this face is a little bit tilted. So I'm just going, and look, I'm not gonna get like a perfect oval right away. So I'm just gonna sort of walk my pencil until I get the oval that I want. Then I'm gonna do this curved line down the center, like that. Good. And now I want to mimic this line here. So I'm just gonna mimic that. All right. Then I've got this nose line, which just goes a little bit down from there. And then I've got this line here, which is going up, like, well, like that, sort of the opposite as the nose. And that's just because of the expression on this student's face. Okay, I can even add this little, I like adding this little line down here. Okay, looking good. That's great. Now here we have this curve of like the cylinder of the neck, right? So you can imagine that this whole space would be in here. And now look at this shape right here. Sometimes it's fun when you're drawing to forget that this is a neck and just look at that shape. What is that? It's a triangle, right? It's like a perfect triangle. So think about the space in between spaces, and that can also help you to put things into the right spot. Okay, so we got that there. Then from here, we need to just kind of, now you can kind of start, see, this is gonna go over that way. Okay. And then I'll just close off over here for the rest of the shirt. And I know the hair is starting all the way down where the jacket is, or the hood or whatever. So this is gonna go up. I'm just gonna walk that all the way over. And then this printout is a little bit dark. You can't quite see that, but it's going around this way and all the way there. So let me check again with the hairline. So this hairline is kind of matching the eye line. So I'll go ahead and do that as well. And that's also gonna help me to get the glasses straight, okay? Because the glasses are actually kind of touching his hair, okay? All right, nice. So I've kind of got everything in a good spot. So I think, well, why don't we go ahead and outline, I think we can outline the clothing here. See, it starts under the chin and it goes this way. It starts up here, goes down through here. Then we've got this like little triangle here. Okay, so when you're starting your portraits, if you come and show me this, I'm gonna be very happy because this is already helping me see that you are understanding that we don't just put the features wherever we want them. We have to see where they are in relation to the rest of the face, okay? All right, so then let's maybe think about like how the nose is. Okay, this is another important factor. The nostrils, where they end and where the, look at that. What, are you telling me that's a straight line? Yes. So it's a line from the edge of the eye to the edge, look at that. So we're gonna go right about here. The eye right there goes all the way, this is where the side of the nose is. And then that's where the mouth ends. Wow, look at that face. It's so awesome how geometrical everything is, right? And then when you go on the other side, it's gonna be almost the same thing. Again, he's got this little kind of like a smirk there. So, but, so then from here, now this line is a little bit further from the center, again, because of the expression on his face. So if we do that, then I think we'll be ready to rock and roll because now we are seeing where things are lining up, okay? So we've almost like made ourselves a grid here. So I can even say, oh, wow, okay. So the bridge of the glasses goes right in between this little space. And then that's like already easy to just draw that. It's almost like I'm doing the grid method right here. So I can just even think about that there. Look at that, just already setting up the glasses, which I wouldn't get too bent up on the glasses yet because I want to start adding value before I add that detail. But hey, why not? So on the side, look at the glasses go outside of here. So you can see that the glasses are quite big. So they're gonna go here all the way, and they don't hit the bottom of the nose. So we need to make sure we keep them up. See that? Okay. And then when we go, it's gonna go under this line a little bit here. Okay, was not planning on going into the glasses yet, but I think it works. All right, great. And then this will go down. Now you can say, okay, and now how do we get this one? So these glasses, this line kind of mimics the lip a little bit. So it's again with this line here. So maybe I'll go ahead and make that so that way I'm sure that I'm gonna get them not crooked on the other side. All right, just gonna go like this. And then this glasses will end just before the edge of the oval. So we can go walk through here. Okay, nice. All right, so I'm gonna pause here. Then we're gonna start adding value. So if you need to catch up, go ahead and catch up at this moment. All right, so I am switching now. I'm going to use an image on the iPad so that I can see a little bit more clearly the lights and the darks. Okay, so let's go ahead real quick and do a value scale down here. Okay, so value scales, you're gonna start, well, the middle is going to be sort of your mid tone. So this is kind of like, basic. It's like, okay, where's the middle? There, that's the middle. All right, so we can consider we're gonna do 5 values. Okay, so I've got one in the middle, then I need 2 boxes on this side and 2 boxes on that side. So this one is going to be the darkest, so almost black, basically as dark as you can get it. Then this one, hey, I'll use that H pencil now, supremely light. I mean, you could even leave it blank, but I would say the one before it could be blank. So there you go. And then this one is gonna be in between these two, and this one is in between those two. So when we are working through our portrait, we're going to keep thinking about our value scale, and we're going to look through the face. Got these 3 values that are looking a little too similar. Let's see that. Yeah, I think that's nicer. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this one maybe got a little dark, but okay. So you can say, okay, let's start. Sometimes I like to start with a dark one. Where is it the darkest? Well, maybe this little spot here, maybe that little spot there, maybe up at the top of his head. Where is the lightest one? Well, it's going to be over here. And then we've got some mid-tones over here. So you're going to start to see where you need to add stuff. So even before I worry too much about the eyes, I know it's like, oh, we got to put the eyes. I'm just going to start with my H pencil and just adding some marks down here just to start getting sort of a coverage over his face, okay? So if you want, you can erase some of those guidelines. I think I'll do that. So maybe just at least this one. Yeah, and then that one. Erase some of those lines. Okay, nice. So, back to work. Okay, so he's got this nice curve. So think that even inside the nose, it's like a circle right here. So it's a little bit of a circle here, and the shadow comes along the bridge of the nose, and it's going right around here, right around this part, and it goes down to the middle of the nose and then back up again. So it's kind of like forming your nose shape there. Okay, you can grab your darker pencil if you want to mark out those nostrils. Okay, and then he's got still some more shadow on the side of his nose here. So this is where we're going to just start adding the shading, and eventually you'll get to making the eyes, because now I'm seeing, okay, I got this much shading near the glasses, and then whoops, I'm getting onto my eyes. They're happening, it's happening here. So okay, so then you start to see like, okay, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be white, it's opening for the light part, then I have got the iris here. So you can start to make those eyes when you're ready and fully aware of where they need to go. Okay, so I think that might work. Nice. Okay, so let's see. I'll grab a darker pencil now. Just kind of outline the side of the eye. And we've got the eyelid, so don't neglect the eyelid. Okay. And then we've got this little part in here. All right, and then you've got the pupil in the center. And I always like to leave just like a little spot of light at the top. All right. Then this goes down. Now we're gonna add some more shadow around this section here. There's a little bit lightening up under the eye, but it's pretty full of shadow over here. So we still have a lot of shadow over here. And you can go both directions. You can do sort of the crosshatch. You can go, I like to go sort of the way that the cheek is moving. So if I'm going that way, then I'm showing that the cheek is kind of like going up like that, right? All right, so this is going here. I think I need to pull this nostril in a little bit. Got this a little too wide. Okay, good. Nice. So we're gonna move down to I'm gonna move down a little bit to the lips now. So this part underneath the nose goes here. Then we've got this little part above the lip. Then you can do the classic M shape for the top lip. Okay, and then here, just kind of drawing out the shape of the lip now. Goes this way, like that. Okay. I might have got my eye a little bit too big, but I think that's because my pencil's not very sharp. Okay. I'm gonna work on this other eye so it makes things start to look cohesive. Okay, good. And we'll get this coming down here. All right, get that in there. And then see where, so this thing, you can actually see the arm of the glasses is just like there. Just kind of leaves this little thing there. Okay, so we've got a tiny bit of shadow under his second eye over here, but not too much. All right, a little bit of shadow from the glasses here. All right, so this one, I guess eventually I would want to erase that guideline there. All right, I still think the nose is too big. Okay, good, but we're working through. We're working through. Okay, good. So now I can go for this nice chunk of shadow. So it's just here. And there is a nice little highlight in between his neck and his chin. Just sort of a light bright line here. Okay. All right, good. And then I can add in the shirt, which just comes down a little bit here, and start to just add all the details of the clothing. So you see that what happens is when you just focus on, first of all, just getting the guidelines down, getting the structure in, then things will just start to come together, as opposed to saying, okay, I'm going to put the eye here and I'm going to put the nose here. We can't work like that when we're making these, like, sort of, you know, trying to make a realistic portrait, because it's just not going to work out. So, okay, so now I'm just going to start here, just adding, I know he's got like a highlight there in the center of his bangs. I like this portrait because there's a lot of contrast in the light. The shadows are really nice. I like the backdrop, so I think it's a cool portrait to work from. All right. Great. Good, and then I'll just darken up this side of his face over here. Nice. So I think I gotta work on this eye. It's a little bit too big. So I don't wanna take too much time on this, like sort of a practice. But I just wanted to help you learn how to set up a portrait when you're working on, trying to draw either from life or from a photograph. If you can just break it down first with finding out sort of the stick figure inside, the stick, like where things are going with the bone structure, inside, if you can kind of like put things into place first, then your portrait will be much more successful. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and work on the little bit of the backdrop here. Why not? Okay, so I think this eye is definitely off, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna leave it for now. Okay. Okay, and you know, shading tool, you can use a shading tool if you want. That's a whole other ball game. You can go in and add that. That's gonna also make a difference. But I really just, for this video, wanted to focus on finding the right proportions and helping you get set up in going towards a more realistic portrait as opposed to, you know, an illustration or a copy, like, you know, whatever. Okay. All right. Super duper. Good job. And can't wait to see what you come up with.